Are you ready for us to be going live? Yes, we're going live. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Uh huh. We're live. It's Sunday evening, live at 5. This is what we do every week this time. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's coming to a close. We're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. Okay. We're wrapping it up. Looking at a message from, anyway, not important right now. Focusing on something else right now. Focusing on something else. I've had a good weekend. It's been fairly uneventful. I don't think I did much. I did a little training yesterday, taught a group of folks about credit spreads. It's always interesting for me when I can teach other people about being sellers. So that was fun yesterday. I did that. That was good. That was good and fun yesterday. Ran a couple errands yesterday, not too much there. And today it's been kind of a quiet day. I've been inside, during the week I'm out 4 days a week. I go to teach Monday through Thursday, and then I always find myself going somewhere on Friday. So when it comes to weekend, your girl be chilling out. So I'm just kind of around. I think I went on a date Friday. Yeah, I went on a date Friday with my boyfriend. My boyfriend is my husband, by the way. Went on a date, hung out with him a little bit on Friday. Hey, Dylan. Hey, and hey, Will. How are you? Good evening. Hope everybody had good church today. I did church from home because I do church in person on Thursday evenings. My church has Thursday night and then Sunday service. Instead of, we used to do Saturday and Sunday, then they moved the Saturday service to Thursday. So I go on Thursdays. And then Sunday, I did the church today at home. I did on the computer. So I got to watch a couple of really good services today while I worked on grading papers because I gave tests on Thursday. I gave college algebra tests at the university and I had to grade papers. That's why my weekend was kind of uneventful because I was busy grading papers. And grading papers is always, hey Jeff, grading papers is always an eye-opening experience. It's eye-opening because I've come to understand that the students, and I'm not even shocked by it anymore, but the students who you think really get it, many times they're answering questions because in class when I'm teaching, I'm kind of guiding the questions along the way. So anytime you're guiding them, of course, they can answer guided questions, but when they've got to guide themselves, many times not so much. So just because somebody's answering all the questions does not mean that they know how to do the problems themselves along the way. And just because a person is not answering questions doesn't mean that they don't know. So I never fall for that okey doke where you've like, okay, the person who's answering all the questions is going to be able to breeze through the test because I find that that's generally not the case. And I also find that some of the kids, well, this happens a lot. The ones who are, and I call them kids because most of them are just, maybe just coming out of high school or they're early in their college career, but the ones who are, scrolling their phones and acting like, this is all old hat to them. I find out very fast that they don't necessarily know what they're doing when it comes test time. Yep, yep, yep. So I graded tests, which is what I did this weekend. I had 2 classes to grade, so that was all interesting. All interesting. Okay. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let's see what did last week look like? What do we anticipate for this coming week? What are we looking at? How did it go last week? Okay, so let's first talk about how last week went. Now that I've given all the platforms a chance to invite all the people, feel free to like, subscribe, put the notification bell, hit all the things, the thumbs up. Do that now while I'm talking about it. That way, all the platforms know to tell the people that we're on. Okay, go ahead and hit the thumb up, hit the notification bell, put the likes. If you want to share, share the live, share the show, do all the things, let the people know that we're here, so the platform can let the folks know that we are on, and the platforms will pass the word. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the screen to see what did SPX do last week. Of course, SPX is not every stock, but because it represents the overall market, we can kind of see what happened last week. Okay. So this is the weekly chart from last week. So it shows us that we had, not you. I want you, baby. There we go. This is the weekly candle. Long wick to the bottom, good old wick to the top. And overall, last week, our high was 63.12. The low was 62.01. So 112 points basically from top to bottom last week. But the open and close were 62.55 and 62.96. So about 40 points from top to bottom. As far as the open and the close, was only about 40 points difference between the open and the close, but 120 points from top to bottom. But this was a little bit different. The previous week you saw we had a doji, but we have a 2 up. If we want to look at, if you're a strat watcher, according to the strat, we had a 2 up candle for last week, which means we broke out to the top side last week, but not to the bottom side, almost to the bottom. But it was higher on the top side than the bottom. So we are still experiencing higher highs and higher lows as far as SPX goes on the weekly chart. Okay. As far as it goes on the weekly chart. So then let's look at what did it do on the daily? What did our daily chart look like? Let me turn the strat back off, because unless you know what you're looking at, you'll be looking like, what are the ones and twos? Those are strat numbers. If you're a person who knows about the strat. Hey, Julie. Hey, Tanya. Hey, TJ. How y'all doing this evening? Looking at the strat. So we had Monday, we had a green day. Tuesday, we gapped up and then dropped all day long. And then Wednesday, we had a gap up open. It fell really hard, but then recovered very nice. That's why you got this big old gap. Price fell down here, but then recovered way back and pretty much ended on a hammer. Thursday, it stayed open around the same place that it closed on Wednesday, but it had a good green day. And then on Friday, it gapped up, but then pulled back all day. Friday was OPEX day. So Friday, it closed right around the same place that it closed on Thursday. Basically, the Thursday's close, 62.97. Friday's closed right around 62.97. Even though it gapped up, it closed its own gap between Friday. It was a nice gap up open, but then it closed it throughout the day. So yep, if we were going to bring us up some support will be at 62.54 here. Long old wick, but it dripped right down to 6,200, which makes sense. It's like 6,200 is a nice psychological number. It dipped right down to 6,200, filled this gap back here, this gap that was created back on July the 8th, between July 8th and 9th. That gap was left there between those two, but it is now filled by the price action from Wednesday. That gap is filled. There was a gap here between, it was created between the 14th, looks like. Was it created there or was it created back here? Probably was created back here. Seems like I put it back here, so that's where it would have been created. Yeah, it would have been created from Thursday the 10th until Friday the 11th, and then it got filled on Tuesday the 15th. So that gap is filled also. If you're looking at your chart, there was a gap between 62.69 and what's the top of this gap? Come on, let me see it. Let me see it. This gap, 62.69 and 62.80 something, maybe 84. Anyway, that gap is now filled. It was filled by Tuesday's price action. So that is no longer a gap. There was no one here. Gap here got filled by this subsequent price action. Okay. And then Friday filled the gap that it created on Friday. And there's that. I don't see any at this point. We'll look more closely at it when we do our charting call this evening with the membership. Every Sunday evening, Our membership has a charting call where we chart, we look at the week ahead with the week behind us, we work strategy, we do basically, hey Val, we talk about a lot of different stuff to make sure we're ready for the upcoming week. We talk about um, our own strategy, what are our particular times, are there some training we need to do to make sure people understand how to work their platform or whatever. Basically, however we need to do that, all that happens on our Sunday evening call at 6 o'clock. And if you're part of our membership, you can come on in and you can come on in and make sure that you get all the involved training that you need to. I'm running the price, I mean not the price, the link to join our membership. I'm running it along the bottom. I'm running it along the bottom. Okay. Okay. So there was that for the week. Yes. Okay. I wanted to show, let me go show something else. There we go. We had some trades last week on our trades list last week. And our trades list, this was my own personal credit spreads trades list from last week. Peakbot ran it for me. This was the list. And Home Depot was partially breached. It actually closed at like 359.60 or something like that, like literally 40 cents away from 360. But I had closed it a little bit earlier because I wasn't sure it was going to recover. So I closed mine a little bit earlier. Uber was fully breached and so was Exxon. Both of those were fully breached. I did close them a little earlier. I didn't leave them to expiration. I think I closed them on Friday, like about 11:30 or 12 o'clock or something like that. And those two were fully breached at expiration. So there was 75% win rate if you just left it all the way. Hey, my day, Littlefield. If you just left it all the way, it would have been, no, that's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to stay here. Stay here. Okay. This was my list last week. And those same stocks basically were traded again by Peakbot for me. Peakbot runs it every Friday. It enters the trades for me. I needed to do something. I had some other trades that I entered on Wednesday on my own. And when I put in my community, I put up what was my profit and loss for the week. And actually, when it was all over said and done, my Peakbot, it lost about $56 for the week. But I had done some other trades on my own on Wednesday. Using the Peakbot watch list, I did some more trades, and I believe I superseded, I know I did, superseded the $56. I need to go and edit that so I can make sure that I'm showing my true P&L based on the Peakbot and Peakbot watch list for the week, because it's really, even though it shows a negative $56, I made some more money after that. So I need to go and make sure that I keep that. I put that on my list of P&L. Hey, Drew. Info nerd, are you concerned about pin risk? I don't know what pin risk is. What is pin risk? Tell me what that is. Since Peakbot is running for you, tell me what pin risk is, and then I'll answer the question. Unless you're trying to ask about whether I'm worried about getting what is it called? I can't think of the word. It's escaped me. Lord have mercy. My brain just stopped. Pins. Stock and ETFs can be exercised until 5:30. Oh, no, I don't worry about that. I don't worry about it from the standpoint of, I don't know what pins is. I don't worry about getting exercised or whatever the other word is. Assigned. There we go. Those words did not want to come to my brain. I don't worry about get exercised or assigned because if I'm I'm watching on a day-to-day basis, even though I'm not actively trading them, they are in my list of monitor, and I do monitor my account. I'm not, even though I'm not it's being automated for me, I am actually still watching my broker because I trade every day. So I'm trading SPX. So I'm not outside of my brokerage account is not closed. It's open. I'm just not actively doing those particular stocks myself, but I can still see them all day, every day. Right. So I'm looking to see those P&Ls. I'm looking to see what's going on and where are the stocks. So if I get to where one is in the red, basically, I'll be watching to see like where it is it breached, or what's the location, which in some cases, that's why I do go ahead and close. Yeah, but I have a criteria of when I do close them. So the other thing you have to worry about, you can think about, is if one of your legs or both legs of your stock is breached. If if it's exercise, if one leg is exercise and or assigned, whichever the terminology is, and if your account can't hold that size of 100 shares, then the other leg will also be exercise slash assigned, and then you'll just suffer max loss. So if you got a one spread and both sides are exercise slash assigned, then you'll suffer the max loss of the $100 and not acquire 100 shares of something, especially if it's a big enough stock where that's not the case. If it's a 2.5 spread, you'll suffer max loss of 250. So no, there's no discounts for the membership though. So no, I don't worry about it. Peakbot is really pretty good with determining the trend, determining what's going on. Sometimes there's something that happened, like with the Uber. Something happened. Uber was going fine, and then I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, it just dropped. And I won't say out of nowhere. If I was to really be like investigating what happened, I'm sure there was something that happened that caused it to drop like it did. But then when I saw that it dropped like that, I just exited my trade, even though I'm leaving it automated. Again, I'm still watching it. So if stuff like that happens, I'm just like, I'm out. I mean, it's easy enough for me to just exit and be on my way. I don't have any, I'm not oblivious to what's going on, because I am still paying attention to it, even though I'm using Peakbot for the entries, because it's going to enter at a much, I don't have to be concerned about trying to enter 10 stocks at a time, because I run about this. You see the list here. What's this? 12 stocks. So it enters 12 stocks at this point for me. I think I've taken 2 of them off. I believe I did take Uber and Exxon off of my list. So now in the future, for future weeks, it will only enter 10 stocks for me. And so I don't have to worry about entering 10 stocks at a time. Peakbot will do that according to its algorithm on a weekly basis for me. But no, there's no discounts for the membership. The only discount there is, Jeff, is to go ahead and do it to do the yearly. And to do the yearly is a humongous discount, because it's $147 a month. But if you pay for the year, you save 2 months worth, basically, because the year is $14.97. So you basically save 2 months by paying for the year. And there's people in this chat who are here right now who can definitely tell you that the year is worth it. And when you join us and want to hang out with us, you're definitely going to be glad you paid for the year, because we're worth hanging with for a year. I'm telling you, our membership is just that good. And and I'm not just saying it because it's me, but it's definitely worth. There are people who are here who've been here for over a year, and some of them have been here over 2 years, and they just hanging out. They just hanging out with us. They really are. It's cool that I've curated a great community. All right. So let's see what else is there. Let's go. We've covered that. I think we've covered last week. Let's move on to what's coming up this coming week. What is coming up? Okay, let me stop sharing this and go to sharing this. All righty. All righty. Come. Share. Add to the stage. I already did. Add to the stage. Come. People are waiting. The people are waiting on us. I'm trying to see if it's showing up, but it's not doing anything. What are you doing? There we go. Slowly. It's going slowly. Everyone wants to be a bank now, and the banks aren't happy about it. Isn't that interesting? Not everyone wants to be a bank, but some people should be banks, because the people see how the banks have gotten over on us all this time. And they're like, you know what? This ain't even right. The people can see how the brick and mortars have gotten over on us for way too long. They've taken our money and used it to do investing and everything else, and given us pennies back on our investment money. People are like, oh, you just gonna take advantage of me. So other people have come along and become online banks. SoFi being one of them. SoFi is my people. I call them my people because I'm a fan. That whole, industry interrupters, I'm all for that. Everyone wants to be a bank, and banks aren't happy about it. Lenders are fighting back against a new push by automakers and crypto companies to secure new banking charters. Other people are like, we can lend you money. We'll be your bank. Don't worry about it. We'll be your bank. More men are returning to the office. Why that matters for women? Where were they? What do you mean returning to the office? They were someplace else? Uh-huh. Lutnick says he is confident U.S. will secure trade deal with the EU. With EU, no signs of consumer rot in the U.S. markets. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Social Security will no longer issue paper checks beginning this fall. They were still doing that? Tesla, Alphabet report earnings this week. See how the credit score impacts your mortgage rate. London Stock Exchange Group considers launch of 24-hour trading. Okay. Anything else here? Anything else that's jumping out? Nothing jumps out at me right there. Why it's so challenging for Trump to fire Powell? Because we know you only doing it because you want to control somebody, and Powell doesn't want to. Powell has no reason. You don't have any reason to fire him. He's the one who's not being controlled by you, and that's the only reason you want to fire him. Earnings misses are going to get punished more than usual. It's a lot happening in these streets. There's a lot happening in these streets, these trading streets. That's why you must keep your trading very strategic and very simple. This is not the time to have complicated systems, because there's too many. If your system requires too many variables in order for your trading system to work, there's going to be issues, because there's too many things that can cause it to go awry. All right. Your system or your strategies have to be very straightforward and very simple, right? In recent layoffs, AI's role may be bigger than companies are letting on. Okay. Amazon deploys its 1 millionth robot in a sign of more job automation. Yeah, especially those companies that have very repetitious things like warehouse jobs and things like that. Those repetitious type of jobs where something that's automated like that a robot can do. Yeah, you're gonna see. I think we are gonna see that even more. August 1st is a hard deadline for Trump's tariffs. Trump disputes the Wall Street Journal report on Bessent talking him out of firing Powell. Yeah, y'all need to leave Powell alone. Everybody who's got any sense literally knows, say like it or not, that Powell needs to be left to continue to do what he's doing. Because at this point, whether we know or not, the person who knows how to do the job Powell is doing is, guess who? Powell. The best person who knows how to do the job Powell has done for the U.S. is Powell. He's the most experienced person at the job. He knows how to do it. He's done it through multiple presidencies, and he's the one who's done it. You quit tripping. As long as he's alive and is able, you need to let him keep trying to keep us where we are. Oh, come on. Quit tripping. Dude, get over yourself, and you just want somebody else you can control. And then once it don't go, you want to blame anyway. Oh, I don't like to talk politics. Just leave the men alone and just do your job. Just do your job. Okay, what's coming up? I'm gonna jump off that soapbox. Monday, July 21st. CB leading index, not much happening there. Tuesday, we do have Powell speaking. Speaking of Powell, he's going to be talking Tuesday morning at 8:30. Not sure what he's speaking at. Let's see where is he talking. Deliver the opening remarks at the integrated review of the capital framework for the large banks conference hosted by the Federal Reserve. Okay, he's gonna be talking Tuesday morning. He's opening up the speech, it looks like. Opening remarks at 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday. Okay, that's before the market opens. We'll see how everybody responds to that. I'm sure they probably got his speech all written out where he don't say nothing crazy. So it'll be what it is. It's showing an orange folder at this point. So we'll see. Let me see if I can make this any bigger or move this to where everybody can see what's on here. There we go. That'll be better. Okay. Oh, not there. Wrong place. I want to make this screen bigger. There we go. We don't need to see what the results say. We just need to see what's happening. There we are. And then at 10 o'clock, the Richmond Manufacturing Index, 4:30 API Weekly Statistical Bulletin. Wednesday, existing home sales, crude oil inventories, probably orange. Thursday is our first red folder, unemployment claims, flash manufacturing PMI, and flash manufacturing PMI Thursday at 9:45. This is all on Thursday morning. New home sales 10 o'clock, natural gas storage 10:30. Friday, core durable goods month over month and durable goods month over month. So the biggest thing we've got to consider really is Powell speaking on Tuesday morning before market opens, and unemployment claims and PMI on Thursday. Those are really the two things. Dylan says, got to jump on a call. I love seeing you. I'm going to start paper trading harder next week to get a solid foundation built again before I jump back in. Yeah, good to see you. All right. Definitely come on, join us. We're here. We are here. Okay. Trading, we already went there. Oh, let's look at earnings. Look at what earnings are coming up this week. Earnings. We've got Monday. We've got Verizon, Domino's, Cleveland Cliffs, Dynex Capital, Roper Technology, Ryan Air, HBT Financial, and Preferred Bank. That's all Monday before market opens. Monday after close, NXP, Steel Dynamics, AGNC, Calix or Calix, Crown, Agilysys, RLI, Bach Financial, MedPace, and Berkeley. Tuesday morning before the market opens, we got Coca-Cola, Lockheed Martin is going to be Tuesday morning. Looks like Philip something International. GM is going to be Tuesday morning. DR Horton, RTX, KeyBank, Danaher, Northrop Grumman, MSCI. Tuesday after close, SAP, Intuitive, Enphase, Texas Instruments, Capital One, Range Resources, Matador, EQT, Chubb, and CoStar Group. Wednesday morning, we got GE, Vernova, FCX, AT&T, Amphenol, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Fiserv, General Dynamics, Next Era Energy, Lamb Weston, Mr. Cooper Group. Wednesday morning, ding, 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 Tesla. Wednesday afternoon, sorry, it's Wednesday afternoon. We've got Tesla doing earnings on Wednesday afternoon. Tesla. Google is also Wednesday afternoon. Tesla. We've got Now or ServiceNow, IBM, Chipotle is Wednesday afternoon, QuantumScape, O'Reilly, Alaska, T-Mobile, United Rentals. Thursday morning, we've got American Airlines, the Blackstone Group, Dow, Southwest, Nokia, Union Pacific, Honeywell, Keurig. Oh, did y'all know that Keurig Dr. Pepper was all one company? I don't think I remembered that. Flex, NASDAQ, Thursday after market close, Intel. Did y'all see that Intel finally said that they were admitting, quote unquote, I'm using the word admitting, that were not able to keep up with all of the other chip companies, that really while the other chip companies were putting their money into development, that they were putting their money into continuing with dividends, and that they had made the wrong decision. Did y'all see that? That they basically were like, while everybody else was putting their money into growing their companies, we were busy keeping our dividends strong. And we realized now that was the wrong move. Did y'all see that? I think that was like Thursday. They put out some kind of announcement that said, we chose the wrong path. Sounds like Blockbuster and those guys. While those other companies were starting to go with drop shipping and delivery, we decided to keep our current model. And then we looked up like they were still growing and we weren't. And now we're in trouble. That's what Intel came out and said Thursday, which probably they were trying to grease the wheels for their earnings, to say our earnings are getting ready to be crappy. And we're going to tell you why ahead of time. Newmont is Thursday after market closes. Decker Brands, Doc, I'm not sure who this is. BYD, Edwards, Scholastic, Weyerhaeuser, Sally Mae, and Orchid Island. I think I made this too big because now I can't see everything at one time. Friday, we've got Centene, HCA, Healthcare, AutoNation, Booz Allen Hamilton, Charter, GrafTech, Gentex, TriNet, One Main Financial, and Wabash. Yeah, they said that on Thursday. You can do a quick little Google search or something like that. I want to say it was Thursday, either Wednesday or Thursday. They said something like that. They were like, We made a bad decision. We should have stuck with growing our company like everybody else did, and we didn't. And now, yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. We should have went with everybody. What I did, what everybody else was doing. If you aren't following me over on LinkedIn, please do go ahead over. Well, you're already over there. Most of you are already over on LinkedIn. Go ahead and follow me though while you're there. LinkedIn slash, I think it's linkedin.com/company. I think it's company. I'm trying to remember what is the link. Hey, Antonia, seen you in a while. Educator to trader. I think that's the link. Hadn't seen you in a while. I think that'll get you there. But anyway, if you're over on LinkedIn, go ahead and follow me over on LinkedIn. Right? Don't trade alone. Here's how to build support that helps you scale. We are definitely better together. Trading is such a lonely situation that you really have to do it in community. It's so much better if you do it with other people. I promise you. You can ask the people in my community. We do so much better when we're all together, really. And I wasn't trying to rhyme, but it's the truth. Most traders want exponential results, but still operate with inconsistent habits. I think I talked the other day about the consistency will outweigh those flash bangs. Then if you are consistently trading, consistently bringing in profits, whether it's $50, $75, $100 a day, that consistency is going to add up so much better than if you just make 300 here and 400 there and something. But in between those bursts, if there's losses, that's not going to continue. It's those consistent small wins, those consistent base hits that are going to continue to grow your account. A lot of people just want the big money. They see folks posting the thousands here and thousands there, but it's those consistent wins, those consistent days that are going to grow your account. That's how that's done. Okay. That is how that is done. And that's how we do. We got a plan how do we make money every single day? Steady, steady, steady money. Steady money. Okay, we're looking here at our list of trades for the week. List of trades for the week. It's a longer list this week. I looked at what I did about 3:30 on Friday. I was able to go into Peakbot and grab some screenshots before the market closed, because on the weekend that watch list seems to be whittling down by the time it gets to Friday at 4:00. So I went and grabbed screenshots earlier to see what was there. And so this is our list of what we have coming up for next week. Some things you'll see are on both sides, right? You'll see that what's some things on both sides. CVS is on call credit spread and put credit spread. That means it's in the neutral territory. Home Depot, same thing, in neutral. Merck on the neutral side. PDD, Panduo is neutral. Visa is neutral, and so is Walmart. Now, when you see things on both sides, you can either trade one or the other based on what you see, or you can trade them both and make it into an iron condor. Really up to you which one you're going to do, okay? Really up to you. So I do my trading list. As I told you, I use Peakbot for my trading. I let the automated trader do all the entries and exits. I do the entries. Most of the exits are done by Peakbot. Sometimes if there's an issue that I see that I need to go ahead and step in and exit for myself, I will. But for the most part, I let Peakbot do all the exiting as well. It definitely does all the entries. I don't do any of the entries. Sometimes I will do my own exiting, but I don't do any of my own. I don't do it. It does all the entries. I do some of my own exits. All right. There is that. E2T University is starting on August the 18th. E2T University, introducing stocks and options, learning how to chart. How do you use indicators? What are some profitable, simple selling strategies? And when I call them simple, I'm saying, are they straightforward and can they be used repeatedly in these markets? How do we make daily profits? How do we manage our portfolios? What's your own trade psychology? Because everybody trades different. You got to determine what is yours, right? And then risk management. Different people, different things, but you've got to trade the mind how we manage this trading space and our money is plays such a humongous role in our trading success. It's huge. If you get into a trade and as soon as the price starts coming towards you, you ready to jump out, trade ain't done nothing yet. You just barely entered good. Then we've got to work on what's the best strategy for you. Because honestly, the credit spread, the most risk you would take on with a credit spread is when you first enter. That's the most risk you take on when you first enter. What are you determining? What is your strike? Then you have to decide. If as soon as it starts coming in your way, you're like, I'm out. Then we got to figure out what's a good strategy for you. That may or may not be one. The one we're using may or may not be. Or we may need to go further away. We got to determine what is your own risk profile. What is your risk profile? None of them is bad or good. It's just we got to figure out what's yours. So that way we make sure that you're trading strategies and you're trading in such a way that fits your that fits your profile. Right? Everybody is different, and that's fine. Nobody's saying how it works for you is bad. We just got to figure out what is it, and then let's trade accordingly. Because there's money to be made, no matter if you're extremely conservative or if you're aggressive. There's strategies for both those. We just got to figure out which way are you, and then let's put the strategy with you so you can still make money in this market either way. All right. All right. We were talking about our membership. In the membership, we trade only SPX and XSP. Those are the two. We do talk about other stocks and trading credit spreads, and I do provide some of those stocks and some of those trends, that kind of thing. But I don't really manage that for everybody. I provide based on what I'm doing, but we don't manage that. What we manage though is the SPX and XSP 0 DTE. That's what we do every day. We got trade alerts. I have an alerts channel, strategy sessions. We got a charting call we're going to do after we get off here. Everybody gets a one-on-one session. We have a private Telegram group, Zoom calls we hop on to. Now we're doing them about once a week because I teach 4 days a week, but I'm going to be done with that in 2 weeks. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. Jeff says, if we pay for the membership right now, how long does it take for us to get access? Your access is immediate. You pay for it right now. You can be on the call with us. That's going to be starting in 20 minutes. You can be with us right now. You pay now, you're in now. That's how that works. All right. Pay now, in now. I can see it. As soon as you pay it, I get an email that says so-and-so has started to pay and they're in the membership. I get an email right away. Okay. Okay. I think that was that. Let's see. We removed that. I think we've covered the stuff I wanted to cover. Oh, no, not yet. I have one more thing I wanted to go back to. Let's go back to the charts so we can look at what we may see for coming up this week. What we see coming up for this week, we'll add that to the stage. Add to the stage. When do you start in the morning? I send out information. Our Telegram is always going regularly. I send out information about 8 o'clock. I go on Zoom, not Zoom. I go on, YouTube at 8:20, from 8:20 to about 8:45. I'm on YouTube with the pre-market. And then the Telegram, though, is going the whole time. And I start to send out information into the Telegram around that same time. I start posting trades probably about 10:30. It depends. I'm teaching till about 10:30. So I start posting trades soon after that. We do have some key times that we look at trades, but around that time. Around then. Once you're into the group, all the particulars of the what's, whens, and wheres will be given to you, because there's some specific stuff we do. There's some specifics. Okay, so this is SPY, sorry. This is SPY. We went to some all-time highs last week. It closed, SPY closed on Friday at 627.58. We'll put the high for the week at right around 629, 630, somewhere up in there. Yep, let's get us a support here at 623. It's also another set of resistance here at 627. Actually, there's one right in here, 627, 628. There's two of them right there close together. All right. What do we see? We're still, like I said, we're still SPY. I always say that we, like I'm there too. They are still going on an uptrend. They are at all-time high. So this is the danger of being at all-time high. Up here, you're basically at price discovery. And at any point in this process, it can start to turn back. Not saying that it will turn back tomorrow or the next day or the next day, but it could. So when you're at all-time highs, you have to be prepared to trade what you see and to bail quickly. You got to have your strategy has to be, I'm going to trade what I see and I'm going to bail if I need to bail. If I need to get going, I need to have a plan that says some real tight stops. You need to have a plan that says, this is not going my way. I'm out of here. Okay, you got to have a plan that says this going the wrong direction fast, or this turn fast, I'm gone, right? But it could keep going. We've seen it. We've seen where it pulls back and goes up. It pulls back and goes up. It's happening over and over and over. But we're definitely in massive greed area. So anything can happen, right? So your strategy has to be such that you're ready to move quickly. Michael says, I think Friday has 6 sectors down and 4 sectors up. Okay. So that's SPY. Let's look at triple Q. Triple Q chart looks very similar to the SPY chart. Okay, let's go ahead and put on some, what was the high? This was a weekly high, 564.80. We've got a resistance or a support now at 560. This doji thing right here, this sword. That sword. This is where it closed up here, 563.05, 563.11. Support also at 553.20. Still just climbing, definitely bullish. It's one of the reasons why I like our credit spreads, because our credit spreads say we can get something that's above here. It's a danger sometimes to get in a call credit spread above a very bullish move, especially if you don't see the turnaround. Now, this Friday kind of gave us an indication that there's a potential pullback, and you can get beyond here, find you a nice little delta that you like and get a call credit spread above, or find you a good level of support and get a put credit spread below it, and just let the time decay. Watch and see what happens on the day-to-day basis. That's what we do. That's how we do that. All right. Let's look at IWM. IWM's always late to the party. IWM, always late to the party. Okay. Oh, nope. I didn't want you to put that there. Don't be putting stuff where I don't ask you to put it. Okay. So daily resistance last week was at 224.82, and it pretty much held, because you see price went up there and then it pulled back right off of it. Pulled back. The high was at 226.03. It went a little bit higher than that previous close at 224.80 and 82, but now it's at 225.32. Just got a little bit higher, but it's still right there in the zone. If you were looking at, for those who would watch this, if you were looking at the zone of this wick from July the 10th, it tells you that whole zone would be a resistance area for those who do their charts like this. I used to, but I stopped because it made my charts too crowded. And I know, but when I put a line on a chart, just so you know how I chart, everybody charts a little bit different. When I put a line on a chart, in my mind, I remember that is a zone. I don't put in a hard line. For me is never like a hard line. It just says that there's room in this area for there to be a bounce, almost like a trampoline. Prices are never, these lines are never like hard concrete lines. They're more like trampoline. When you do a trampoline, you can always go down a little bit and bounce, right? Same thing like if you're thinking about going up, that these are areas where price could go up and get a little bit of room and then reverse. So these aren't hard lines. They're not hard lines, in my opinion. They're trampoline areas where price could come down, get a little bit of room because it's not going to stop hard and fast and turn around. Then it goes back the other way. Okay. IWM also, just like Triple Q and SPY, all of them ended on a red day. That OPEX was Friday, which shockingly, OPEX on that Friday, many times the end of the day ends up being bullish because the end of the day, people sell off because they're selling their positions and resetting for that next day. But now that we pull back, that could mean that the Monday ends up being the bullish move again. What do? We have a motto over here. A motto. What is the motto? What's the motto? Anybody who's with me knows my motto. Our motto is trade what you see. Because as a seller, we don't have to rush in. We don't have to rush in where fools dare to tread. We can wait. Wait on it. Wait on it. We can wait on it. Wait on it. Yeah, we don't need to rush in. As sellers, we can wait on it. Give it a minute. See what the land look like. Trade what you see. We go into the room, look around, pull our head back out, give it a little time. Oh, the price went up here and couldn't stay. Cool. Bet. And then we go right up there where the price couldn't stay, and that's where we put our trade. Oh, price went down here and reversed. Nice little reversal going back up. All right. Bet. We go right down there, set our trade, and go, oh, yeah, you couldn't stay down here. That's where we'll put our trade. Mm-hmm. He said, come on in the room. Yes, that's the way we do. That's what us sellers do. That's the way we do. We don't need to rush in. We do not need to rush in. All right. Those are the 3 stocks we wanted to look at coming into next week. All righty, everybody. I will be on tomorrow morning at 8:20. Look for me on YouTube at 8:20. If you want to come on and join us in the membership, again, we trade SPX. We trade XSP on the daily basis. We have some set times that we look at, or set, strategies that we're using, set times we're looking at for our trades to have us to minimize our screen time. It's really kind of up to you how much screen time you want, but we do have some strategies that can reduce our screen times for various reasons. I don't have a lot of screen time to give because I'm teaching at the university, so I can't be in front of my screen all day. So I had to develop strategies that will allow me to capitalize on the market while not having to be in front of those screens. So now I have a choice to be in front of the screens. So there's stuff I can look at while I'm still teaching. Because this week we getting into logarithms and inverses and graphing and all this stuff, because we getting ready to land this plane in summer school. They got 2 more weeks. This plane is coming to a landing. Yes, it is. Okay. All righty, everybody. We're going to do some things tomorrow, 8:20 in the morning. Like I said, you'll see me at 8:20 tomorrow morning on YouTube. I'll be there. Yes, I'll be there. All goes well between here and my school in the morning. If there's no, barring any traffic issues and all, I will be there at 8:20 in the morning. And if you're in my community, I'll be on Telegram. No problems there. All right. So if you're in my community, I will see you all on Zoom in about 10 minutes. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, that's what time we're on. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Okay. If you're joining me in the membership or on our charting call, I'll be there in actually about 5 minutes. We'll try to transition right on over there and get going. And I want you all to do 2 things, though. As always, I want you to stay green and I want you to get this money. All right. I'll see you all in the morning. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.